Hello, everyone. Today marks the day after Spider-Man Day, which was yesterday. And today I will be giving you a review of Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, I watched it August 1st, and I gotta say, I went in almost blind. The things I knew, I watched the trailer one time. I did not, I'm one of those guys who don't like watching the trailer, but I kind of had to because it's Spider-Man. So I watched the trailer. All I got of the trailer is that the Hulk will be there. There's ninjas. He's getting his webs. He's getting organic webs, and he is. And MJ is like fucking another dude. I went in, and also I thought the main villain would be the Punisher. That's literally the only things that I knew about the movie going in. I also already knew that Jean Grey would be in the movie, but I know what Jean Grey's power is. But that's pretty much it. I think if I didn't know about the Jean Grey stuff, I would have liked the movie. I would have liked it more. But I still appreciated everything they did. Um, so yeah, I will say going forward, straight spoilers. So if you didn't watch the movie, go watch it and come back. I don't know why you haven't watched it yet because it's peak. But let me tell you. So let me give my honest rating, my review. I'm gonna tell you where it holds up with the other Spider-Man movies and if what I think about the movie and my rating and stuff. So I gotta say, first and foremost, um, let's go through the whole movie as a whole. I want to say number one, I love the way it starts. It starts with Spider-Man being Spider-Man. It really feels like Spider-Man is being Spider-Man. It doesn't feel like anything. It is straight Spider-Man. He's fighting. He's swinging with his webs. The web swinging it looks so good. The fighting, the action, beautiful. Knocks it out of the park. That montage was beautiful. And then I love how right after the montage, they go into the first real big mission. And I love the character that they had that was kind of Yuri in Spider-Man games. And it was like this new girl. I don't remember her name, but she was helping out Spider-Man. Great dynamic. It was great. So the first mission that Spider-Man goes on is with this tank, and it has like a bomb inside of it, and it's going towards a certain area. And Spider-Man got to stop that. And Spider-Man doesn't know there's a bomb in there. But anyway, Spider-Man's going, and this is where we meet the Punisher. He low key like I'm be honest, I've not been caught up with the MCU since Endgame. I'm one of those guys. I've only watched the Spider-Man movies. I plan to catch up, but I don't really know who Punisher is, and I know obviously he's like a big. I know he existed. I just never knew who he was. Great character, by the way. Funny as hell. Um, I thought it was funny how Peter was like, yeah, go home, Frank, whatever. But anyway, after he told he low key fucked up Punisher. He told him to kick rocks. Peter Spider-Man went and to stop the tank. Beautiful sequence. Everything. The civilians helping him out with the car. It was. I mean, like I gotta say one thing. The comedy, bro. I was laughing this whole movie, and I wasn't just smiling because of the comedy, but I was smiling because of how good it was. So after he stops the tank, this mysterious thing is taking over people's brains. And I've got to say, if I didn't know it was Jean Grey, this shit would look like a horror movie. I looked to my friend to the right. He was like, wow, straight horror. It was a horror sequence, but perfectly done for a Spider-Man movie. So you have Spider-Man. He doesn't know anyone. That's already the plot from the last movie that it set up into this movie. He doesn't know anyone. And now there's a horror aspect with his new villain. And it's just done so perfectly. Then we move on to the next part. I mean, the whole thing is just done really perfectly. I like how he's kind of she's toying with him the whole time. It's just so that's like that. I just wanted to say how it starts. I love the way it starts. I'm gonna move on to. I'm gonna just talk about some things I like, and then I'm gonna say some things I don't like. But I wanted to mention if I went through every little tiny thing that I liked in this video, the video would be longer than the movie. If I went through everything I didn't like about the movie, it would be like 10 minutes. I really think this movie it holds up incredibly well. Characters. Let's go with the characters. I love Peter. Tom Holland does a great job at portraying Peter Parker, not only Peter Parker, but Spider Man. Something I feel like he does better than the other actors who play Spider-Man. But once again, I haven't really dug into those other movies. I've only just started watching the original Spider-Man, so obviously maybe my opinions will change. But I did watch the original Spider-Man. I think Tom Holland does a better Spider-Man and Peter Parker, in my opinion. I love his portrayal of this character. I love the organic webs. I love how his reactions to it, and I love the way he deals with it because it's like a huge power up for him, and he couldn't have got this power up without being so depressed and lonely. But getting this power up, he can't control it, so he gets a device to put on his neck because he can't control this power because he's so like lonely and depressed that he gains the power and then he can't even control the power because of how depressed and lonely he is. And in the end, when he realizes he doesn't have to be alone, he can take it off and control his new powers, and he's extremely strong. And I love that whole arc throughout the whole movie. It definitely advances with the rest of the story, which is something this movie does so right. The what's it called? The pacing of this movie is absurdly good. The pacing is great. Peter Parker is a really good character. He really is mature. I mean, especially like let's say like the scene when he pretty much died. Like he really like he saved his life for someone who just I mean, that is the one thing I did want to mention about the movie. I'm a little confused about I feel like Jean Grey is such a like she was so evil. Like I feel like she was a little bit more evil than she had to be with the MJ scene and Peter when got Peter got kissed by MJ and then just got faked out. I mean, look, I want to say I love how evil Jean Grey was when she took control of one guy and killed him on. I don't know if he would die, but he got hit by a car. The part when he kissed MJ, that whole evilness of Jean Grey was perfect. But like, and yes, I do like how she got a redemption. I like her story with her sister, but I feel like she got redeemed a little bit too easy. Maybe I don't know. I'm going to definitely watch this movie again. I might go watch it in theaters again because of how good it was. So maybe I could look at it in a different perspective. But after first initial thoughts, I feel like she did get let down a little bit easy. Peter Parker, being Peter Parker, is a great man. Perfect. That's something I love about Spider-Man. He's such a great guy, and he saved Jean Grey's life and was willing to kill himself for her. Great Spider-Man. I love the hospital scene and stuff. The whole thing was just great. And like, I mean, I knew he wasn't gonna die. I saw him laying on the floor, blood dripping, and then the candles and like they made it really make it look like he died. And then I pretty much knew he wasn't gonna die. I was like, they cannot kill him. They just can't. Not with the progression that the movie was in. I'm like, there got to be more than just him dying. There got to be more with like MJ and Ned. And but yeah, so Peter Parker Spider Man gets a 10 out of 10. The fighting, the just everything, it was so good. Also, I feel like I don't know if it was just me hearing it, but I feel like when he was in his suit, he was talking in like a different voice. He was like talking in that like I feel like I heard that. Next, I'm gonna talk about MJ and Ned. This is one thing I think every fan going into the movies was scared about. They were scared that they were going to do something wrong because I think we can all agree we don't want to walk into the movie theater to just MJ and Ned completely remembering everything and everything being exactly how it was. Eventually, I would love to get to that moment, but I think they hit the nail exactly where we could have wanted it. To where I know there were some people who were like, I don't want MJ and Ned to even be in it at all. I like how they're in it because they've been a huge part of Peter Parker's life the past 7 movies or how many movies they were in. So I like how they're keeping them around, and I love the scenes with them. The scenes with MJ, the scenes with Ned. I got to talk about one scene in specific. The scene where Peter leaves MJ at home, and then he comes back, and MJ read the note. She read the letter. Right there, my heart actually stopped, and I started sweating a storm up. Like my heart dropped. I was in disbelief that that actually just happened, and it was just it was so unexpected. Like it was just, I don't know if this was for me. This was not a predictable movie. I know a lot of people said it was kind of predictable. I don't know. I did not predict that even a little bit. I could never have thought. Like when I saw it happen, I was like, holy shit! Like she was reading the note. That whole sequence tore me apart, especially when she was like, I don't love you. I don't even know you. And the worst part about it is that it makes so much sense. Like they didn't just make it like, oh well, I mean, I guess I could understand how you could love me. Maybe I could try to love you back. No, they didn't play games. They made it so realistic. This is exactly what would have happened in the situation if it happened in real life. Because she doesn't know this guy. She knows that he used to. And then, so that whole sequence killed me. I'm on the floor, crying, bleeding. I'm so sad. And then she goes, "Can you take me home?" And it ripped me even harder watching Spider Man swing through the city with MJ in arms, silence. No Web stop before when he was saying, "Web, stop, Web, stop." Not this time. Silence. It it literally took my heart and it ripped it out. It it literally, my heart is in a fucking plate right now. And then as Peter Parker's about to walk away, dropping her out of the house, he goes, MJ goes, "You want to come in the apartment?" So my heart is currently in hand right now, and Marvel just tried to put the heart back inside me, and it did not work. I'm still suffering in pain. I'm going to throw up as he's walking in. I'm still about to cry. And then Ned goes, "MJ, the Spidey tracker says he's nearby." And my heart literally stitches back up and I start laughing. I didn't think I was gonna laugh. Honestly, I thought I was gonna be sad for the rest of the movie. But that shit, only Ned could make me laugh. Only Ned could make me laugh, bro. And then he goes, "Spider Tracker, Peter's here." And then Spider-Man comes in. I mean, that whole part, that whole sequence, that whole everything I just described was a fucking like. I think that was my favorite part of the whole movie. I I could just cry thinking about how good it was. And to top it off, you have the scene with Peter like talking to that girl. I don't remember her name. Talking to the girl with the office and the tub and stuff. And Ned comes in. Black Widow, like yeah, it's hilarious. And then the whole like when he's building the Legos, and then he gets up, and MJ's like sorry about him, and then he's like, "No, this is the most fun I had in years." It's just, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And it's so perfect. Nothing feels rushed into. It doesn't feel like they're rushing into Spider-Man having his friends back and having MJ back. They are slowly building it up perfectly, exactly the way I could want it. It is insane how good they do it. So when it comes to MJ and Ned, something that I was so worried about going to the theater, they put the nail in the coffin and did it perfectly. And another thing with MJ, I love how like I love the way they did it. I love how like he had to take her in and bring her to the Punisher because if not, she was gonna die from uh Jean Grey. I love that. I love how they were talking. The whole like it's insane. How can they do it so good? How can they? It's insane. I'm not even glazing. I'm not glazing. It's actually that good. It is literally that good. If you watched No Way Home, you know how good this is, bro. You know it's that how good it is. The fact that Peter didn't even read the note to her, she found out was even better, bro. Like, how could you do it so good? And then you come with the next character, the Punisher. Bro, I don't know who this is. All right, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. I love Marvel, but I'm not a massive Marvel fan, and I can admit to that. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I'm becoming a bigger Spider-Man fan watching these old movies. But I'm not a huge Marvel guy. I loved Phase One, Two, whatever the Infinity Saga. I have not kept track of Multiverse Saga. I've only watched a handful of things. I don't know who Punisher is. Um, but I definitely got an idea who he is with this movie, and I like how they did. I like how they made me. I have a vision of who he is, not knowing who he is at all from Spider-Man. He seems to be this guy with a lot of trauma and a lot of burns. He like what and like I think the only thing that made me like this, the only thing that made me realize who this guy is that scene when MJ was like, "Who's this girl on your fridge or whatever?" And he's like, "Don't talk about that." Like that's how I knew this guy had a character development. That's how I know. That's how I know. Like, all right, so this guy isn't just a crazy villain. He actually has a heart. That right there is all I needed in the Spider-Man movie to know who he is. Punisher is a great freaking character. Perfectly. I don't even know what I could say about him. He was perfect. He was funny. His I mean, he shot. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Fortnite memes of him shooting Spider-Man. When he, I mean, like I understand most of where he's coming from, because like his way is like the killing way, like what he said with he said he was going to do that back with the Hulk fight. He's going to kill Jean Grey, and then he goes to do it after he sees everyone frozen. They did a really good job with his character. I think they did a great job with him in the movie. And when he shot Spider-Man, he ended up in the hospital. They shared a great connection, and then in the end, not only did they share a great connection, but he put the mask on in front of the hospital, and he went like this, like it was perfect. I mean, what more can I say about it? It's perfect. And then you get like, bro, the Punisher is a great, and not to mention the whole every scene he was in had me cracking up. Before it was just Ned. Now the Punisher was so funny. I loved it, bro. He was a great ass character. If he wasn't in the movie wouldn't have been that as good as I'm saying right now. Punisher really stuck the glue together, and I hope we see that Spider-Man and Punisher duo again. I loved when he like came to try to fight the Hulk, and then he was like, "I got this girl," whatever, and then Spider-Man's like, "We're fighting the Hulk," and like it's just gonna tickle him to death. The whole it's so funny, bro. It's so good. Next is I gotta say like Bruce Banner, the Hulk. Um, I think this is definitely something I want to talk about. You have the whole story, the whole thing. Let's say the movie is finished without the Hulk. They didn't have the Hulk in it, and the movie's finished. And then they added the Hulk. Every time I think of this movie, I think of all the crazy, massive things, blah, 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 the whole great movie, and it's like, wow, it's a talented movie. And then I remember the old Hulk from the 2000s came back to fight Spider-Man. In the theater, I think I actually like made the craziest noise ever. I was like, oh, 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 and I was explaining to my friend like because he didn't really understand it. I was like, yo, and like everyone was like looking at me like my theater was low-key kind of boring, but I was like, holy shit, no fucking way, bro. And like, because I'm be honest, I guess I didn't notice that in the trailer because I don't like watching trailers, like I said. I thought it was just the normal Hulk. I didn't realize it was like the fucking exotic Hulk. This guys, stop watching trailers for movies. I'm dead ass, just stop watching trailers. It makes the experience so much better. I did not know it was the original Hulk. And when I saw him fucking grow, bro, oh my god. Oh my god, it was so good. The fight was so good. I loved how Spider-Man had like the fist. Like, oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. I gotta rewatch that fight again. I don't even remember how he like got beat or anything. I'm not gonna lie. My mind is all over the place with this movie. Man, let's talk about Jean Grey. I kind of talked about her already. I kind of mostly talked about her, but to finish off what I was going to talk about her with, she's a good character. I know she's the introduction to the X-Men. I want to see where that goes. I do not know anything about the X-Men. I want to disclaim that. I do not know anything. I just know that she's a part of the X-Men, and I know who that character is. I've seen her before. I can't wait to see what they do with her character. I hope that she has interactions with Spider-Man again because they had a very close connection, especially with Ant-Man. Ant-Man. They had a very good connection. I think Sadie Sink did a good job. Now, as a Stranger Things watcher, all I could think about when looking at her was Stranger Things, which I didn't like. But that is a personal problem. Of course, if you know a character for 10 years of your life about another role and they play this other role, you're gonna think of that role. That's the only complaint I have about the movie. Literally, that I was thinking about Stranger Things. Not even a real complaint. Um, it's so good. The ninjas, the fights, the everything was just really freaking good. And I think we got to talk about what happened at the end there, and then also the post credit scene. So first of all, the whole thing with everyone getting their memories back and what memories and stuff. So when it comes, so this is I saw this there online, so I think I'll repeat it. I don't remember who it's from, so credits to you. Um, so when it comes to the whole thing with Jean Grey, this I think it's so awesome how the movie before this erased everyone's memories, and then the main antagonist of this movie is someone who goes into your memories. I mean, that's genius. That is gold. They literally took the main antagonist of this movie about going into your memories after the movie that erases memories, and that is insane. Let's talk about it. So, when it comes to getting memories back and stuff, specifically Ned and MJ, I think what happened was something like okay, so like when that whole shockwave happened, they were frozen, and MJ was crying and stuff. I think They are slowly, very slowly getting memories back. Very slowly. I don't really know how or what or when or like all the details, but I think they're slowly might be getting their memories back. MJ is a little bit more confusing than Ned because Ned, we know that at the end there they did the handshake and he was like Peter. I think when he said Peter, he wasn't thinking about like, oh, Spider-Man Peter, or oh, I remember you, you're Peter, my old friend. I think he did the handshake out of memory because he didn't lose the memory of the handshake, and then he was like Peter, like I feel like I know you. Super confusing stuff, and I think that's why I love the movie so much because it makes you question so much. I have so many questions, and the biggest question of all is that Doomsday is coming out later this year, and I feel like I mean they gotta have Spider-Man in either Avengers Doomsday or in Avengers uh, Secret Wars. They have to have Peter in there. They just have to. But the thing is, how could they put Peter in there without developing anything else with MJ and Peter? How? It's insane. So when it comes to MJ, I think yeah, I am that ending when she was sitting on the old roof that they sit on. She had the black necklace that he gave to her, and she was smiling. I think that was her like saying like I don't know where I got this necklace from, but I think I know who got me this necklace. It was Peter. That whole thing. I think they could be slowly getting their memories back purely because of Jean Grey. Jean Grey, low key, very very good character issues for this movie, especially with her keeping Peter alive and stuff. Really good stuff there. And then the end credit scene. Probably the most confusing thing about the movie is the end credit scene. What could that possibly mean? The Spider-Man tracker is tracking another Spider-Man in outer space because where it's in outer space, obviously, not too far from Earth, but it's in outer space. There's a few theories. I saw one that I really liked on TikTok. I think I'll mention that one. But first, let's say something like Miles Morales, like Into the Spider Verse and stuff. I actually don't think it has anything to do with that. I don't think they're gonna mix the animation with the live action. I don't think they're gonna do that. I really don't. They're probably not gonna do anything with that. The only reason I say this is because Beyond the Spider Verse is coming out next year. But then they're just not gonna do that. I don't think so. It could be either maybe like three things. Number one, just an alternate version of Spider-Man. I could see just an alternate version of Spider-Man. But then I mean it could be just a random, nothing crazy. I saw one where I've seen some things online about Tobey Maguire being in the next Avengers movie, Doomsday. And honestly, that would be the craziest thing ever, and I would love that so much because Doomsday's already stacked. Just imagine if Tobey Maguire's in it. It sounds unrealistic, but just imagine how cool it'd be. So it could be that. It could be Tobey Maguire. I saw one saying that that in the comics apparently there's like this alternate Earth, which is Tobey Maguire's Earth, and then they crash together and try to do something with that. It could be that. I think Tobey Maguire for sure would be an awesome choice. But I want to say something with the next movie, the next Spider-Man movie. It would be really cool if the next Spider-Man movie, Ned and MJ start gaining memories, but then are also kind of losing it at the same time. So they're in this like maybe they can have a villain that will fuck with them to make it so their memories are like going in and out. Like I remember you, and then like I don't remember you. And at the same time, not only is that gonna mess Peter so much up, but at the same time they finally introduce Venom. So not only is it gonna fuck up Peter, but Peter's going to be going insane because he has Venom. That would be a crazy plot. That would be a crazy plot. Imagine that being the next Spider-Man movie. It would be perfect. They finally do like the perfect Venom movie, and then we already know Peter is a menace when he's Venom. Just imagine if there's something messing with him that bad. That could be amazing, especially with Spider-Man movie. And I want to say the first three Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. There's something about those three movies that I don't like. I can't put my finger on it. There is just something I don't like about those movies. But this movie feels like a totally new style of movies. Maybe someone could let me know what I'm thinking about in the comments. This new movie feels like a totally brand new movie. It feels like a completely separate from the others, and I don't know why I don't like the other movies. It just feels like kind of dull in a way. I just don't know what it is. I don't know. I, I don't know, but I do think this new movie is perfect. So a Venom movie would be so awesome with this new style of Spider-Man. I would love to see that as the next Spider-Man movie. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments. How did I say that again? I'm going to probably rewatch this movie in IMAX because I watched it in laser, but man, it was so good. I'd pay $20 more to watch it. I'm gonna watch this in the movies again so I can really refresh everything because I've never had this much emotion about a movie before. So yeah. Oh yeah. And when it comes to other Spider-Man movies, so far, I've watched these are the Spider-Man movies I watched. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 1, and I'm watching 2 tonight. I've watched all of the Homecomings, Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home, and I've watched Into and Across. So I've watched all those movies, and I'm gonna keep it transparent. Look, it's better than Far From Home. It's better than Homecoming. I liked it better than Tobey Maguire one. I don't really like talking about the animated ones mixed in with this, but off of initial reactions, I'm gonna say it's better than that. And I know you guys are gonna call me crazy, but and then you have No Way Home compared to Brand New Day. When it comes to No Way Home, No Way Home had some of the highest highs in any movie I've ever seen. Aunt May's death hit so hard. It was beautifully done and perfect. And I love the 3 Spider-Man altogether. That was one of the greatest things they've ever done in a movie. The highs in No Way Home are higher than most movies in the world. As a full plot and movie, Brand New Day takes the spot. And Brand New Day has high highs. I think No Way Home's highs are higher. So I can understand the argument for both, but I'm going Brand New Day. As of right now, Brand New Day is not only my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, but it might just be my favorite movie of all time purely because of everything that it has. As of right now, Infinity War I would say is my favorite movie of all time. Infinity War is really good, but Brand New Day feels so different than every other movie that I've ever watched. It feels the fighting, the swinging, the way it looks. It's a beautifully movie. It's one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just something about this movie I love so much that Infinity War doesn't have. And I love Infinity War. It is insane, Isle. And honestly, Infinity War, it probably is a better movie. You know what? It's a better movie. But I liked Brand New Day better. And off of, I'm less than 24 hours after watching it. I think this might be my favorite movie of all time. And I don't even know. It's a fucking great movie. I'm gonna end this today. This is the first review of my channel. I had to talk about it. I had to talk about it. I can't stop thinking about it. Look at my shirt. I haven't even taken it off since yesterday. I'm a dirty scum. I gotta take a shower. I'll see you guys later.